So, greetings, beloveds watching later online, and welcome to Unity of Tempe. I'm Reverend Mitzi, and I do hope that if you're able, you will come and be with us very soon, because you only get the message part, which we love you watching, and we do hope that you'll subscribe to Unity of Tempe YouTube channel and drop us a comment or a like. Today, I'm really excited about a brand new series that we are starting. It is a new 3-week series, and it is called The Architecture of Spiritual Deepening. Now, some years ago, I came across a short, unassuming piece of writing that opens a surprising, vivid window into our inner lives. And it is I Understand by Unity member Jay Woods. And it names 12 movements in the spiritual journey. It's kind of like a blueprint that reveals the shifts our consciousness makes as it expands. Now, I know there's something else that had 12 movements, and that is the 12 powers, of course. And there's a little bit of overlap, but not everything overlaps at all. But today we're going to look at the first 4 movements, which is under, support, lift up, and raise. So let me start by sharing that part of Jay Wood's writing with you. And let's say this together. When I understand, I stand under. When I stand under, I support. When I support, I lift up. When I lift up, I raise. Now, these 4 movements, together with the other 8 that I'm going to share over the following 2 weeks, are going to take us on a journey of spiritual deepening. And today, our theme is what? Let's try that again. Today, our theme is foundation. Yes. Let's go back to this for a sec. Do you like that? Makes me think of Wayfarer's Chapel, right? Okay. So yes, so the first movement 1 is, let's say it together, under. When I understand, I stand under. So understanding, it's one of what? Unity's 12 powers. We begin with that, right? And it is the spiritual ability to perceive truth and to discern meaning. I stand under is the foundation that allows us to awaken. It's choosing a spiritual footing where we know that we are eternally connected to spirit. Now, most of us spend a lot of time standing over our lives, managing, controlling, reacting, analyzing, right? Who does that? Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of nods, right? We hover over circumstances like a foreman trying to keep everything on schedule. And when life doesn't cooperate, we double down on the hovering. But beneath all of that is a spiritual infrastructure that doesn't depend on circumstances. Under isn't a location. It's a shift from, I have to manage all of this myself, to, I can stand under the strength of the divine presence. It's the moment we stop trying to be the foundation and finally let the foundation be the foundation. The movement of our entire architecture of spiritual deepening starts with a solid foundation. And as it says in Matthew chapter 7, verse 24, let's say it together. A wise person builds their house on the rock. And the beauty is we don't have to go searching for this foundation. We're already standing on it. As Eric Butterworth said, and say this with me too, God is a sphere whose center is everywhere and whose circumference is nowhere. Now, a solid foundation is essential, and what an incredible gift we have, that we can remember that we are connected to this foundation at any moment. We don't have to wait for the right conditions of a perfect morning, we can simply pause, breathe, and let ourselves settle. And when we do this, whether it's in the middle of a conversation, in the middle of traffic, or am I people who are like traffic, like they're like, traffic and I know who you are anyways. I'm sending love out to you, all of you, not looking at anyone. Or in a moment of uncertainty, we feel the shift. Our mind stops racing and we realign with the divine. I stand under is the beginning of spiritual deepening. Nothing can be supported, lifted, or raised without this foundation. So do this. Do it. You're on a firm, solid foundation. Feel it. Anytime you're like, do that. Stop even in the middle of a conversation. Do that and feel your foundation, that you are standing under the divine. All right. Movement number 2. Let's say it together. Support. When I stand under, I support. Now, many people have support strategies that aren't really that supportive. The I'll carry everything myself because I'm very spiritual approach. Or the I don't need help, I have a vision board approach. Who's done that route? Some of us, right? Or the I'll wait until the last minute and then I will pray intensely approach. We have a prayer call every Thursday morning where you can join us. Just saying. Or the I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine. I'm absolutely not fine approach. And we laugh because we recognize ourselves and also because we realize, thank God, I'm not alone in all of that. But that's the blessing of spiritual community. We see ourselves, we see each other, and we remember the strength beneath us, the foundation beneath us. One more time. Awesome. Isaiah says it this way. Let's say it. I will strengthen you. I will help you. I will uphold you. And Emily Cady echoes it with metaphysical clarity. Let's say this. God is the one and only support of our lives. And we don't have to go hunting for support. It meets us right where we are. Reach out. You got a friend. No, that's the wrong. You got a friend. Yeah, no, that's the right one. I want to do the Toy Story one too. But anyways, it meets us right where we are. It shows up with divine orchestration in timing that sometimes it only makes sense in hindsight. You ever had that? You're like, why did that happen then? And then in hindsight, you're like, oh, okay. Or in the moment, someone says exactly what we need at that moment. Support is reminding us we're not navigating any of this alone. And when our support is rooted in a deep foundation, we stop trying to carry everything by ourselves. Spirit reaches us through insight, intuition, and connection, through synchronicity and circumstances that redirect us. And support rises naturally when our life aligns with the spiritual foundation. And from that place, when we are grounded in our foundation and feel that support, then supporting others becomes a natural extension of who we are. Next movement, let's say it together. Lift up. When I support, I lift up. Now, lift is the upward movement of awareness. It is recognition. It is the soul remembering what it already knows. The soul remembering what it already knows. Psalm 121, one of my favorites, says, let's say it together, I lift up my eyes to the hills. From where does my help come from? My help comes from the Lord, or from the divine presence within. I've got a whole message that I do that, the Song of Ascent, if you remember. And from Charles Fillmore, let us say this. As we realize our unity with God, we lift our thoughts and expand our consciousness. So lift is the soul's natural response to support. And when we stand under the deeper reality of spirit, something in us rises up. We feel clearer. We feel more grounded, more open. And from that openness, our consciousness lifts. It's the shifts that happens when we stop trying to be our foundation and finally let the divine presence do what it already is doing. Lift comes when we stop fixing and start aligning. It's the upward movement that shows up the minute we give spirit room to move in our lives. So here's some examples of a lift. The thing that irritated you suddenly, the thing that irritated you before, it suddenly starts to feel a little smaller. Maybe not completely gone, but it's no longer running the show. Fear stops sounding like a lawyer presenting a case. And you realize you don't have to agree with it. Confusion stops hogging the microphone, and you hear one clean, clear, simple next step. Wisdom becomes audible, like someone turned the volume back on your inner clarity. And courage raises its hand, even if your hesitation is still hiding under the bed. Lift is the upward movement of consciousness that comes from alignment. And once the foundation and the support are in place, our awareness naturally lifts. The last movement for today is raise. Let's read it together. When I lift up, I raise. As consciousness begins to lift, it expands. It grows taller than our circumstances and rises above our old stories. Who's had that happen? Your consciousness has risen above your old only one or two people. Yeah, all of us, right? And this enlarges our spiritual identity. Isn't that exciting? That our spiritual identity enlarges. And this, I just love this. We got to say this with gusto, with feeling, because this is such a brilliant verse. Let's say this really like we mean it. Arise, shine, for your light has broken through. The Eternal One's brilliance has dawned upon you. That is a great thing to take a photo of right there. And this version is, it's from the Voice translation, and I just love it. Your light has broken through. The Eternal One's brilliance has dawned upon you. And Ralph Waldo Emerson said of this expansion, say it with me, the soul always rises above its circumstances. So raise or rising up is the natural expansion that happens when we realize that our spiritual stature doesn't shrink just because of temporary circumstances. That's huge, right? Our spiritual structure, our spiritual stance, our spiritual presence, our spiritual identity does not shrink because of temporary circumstances. It's when we say, my life is bigger than this moment. Let's say that together. My life is bigger than this moment. One more time. My life is bigger than this moment. Yes. So a woman once spent years trying to do her spiritual life perfectly. She read every book, she went to every class, and she tried to stay positive with the determination of someone guarding a fortress. She truly believed her spiritual life and spiritual growth depended entirely on her own effort. But during a particularly difficult time, she sat down on her living room floor and said through tears, I can't do this anymore. I give up. Now, she wasn't giving up on faith. She was giving up on control, on trying to make everything happen herself. And something unexpected happened. Everything she'd been holding together with sheer will didn't fall apart. Instead, she felt something rise from underneath her, something she hadn't created and couldn't manufacture from her spiritual to-do list. It was gentle and it was unmistakably present. Later she said, that was a turning point for me. When I stopped trying to be spiritual, when I stopped gripping so tightly, was when I finally felt supported. And that's when I truly began to feel connected and something in me began expanding. That was when her foundation became accessible to her. It was there all along, but she had to stop searching and accept it was there. Now, I have a personal story about this, and I don't know if I've ever shared it before, but in my early journey in spirituality, I mean, we're all spiritual from the time we come onto the planet, but I mean, like when I was doing ministerial training and all of this stuff, I would go to Borders. Who remembers Borders? What a great place, up at Paradise Valley. I used to go there with Ron and I and our spiritual mentor, Jerry DeShazo, used to go up there all the time. And I would go and I would pull all these books out, tons of them. I would have them stacked up on the table. I mean, so many of them. And I'd get a coffee and I'd be looking through the books, hopefully never spilling any coffee on the books. But anyways, and Jerry would come over and he'd go, "What you doing, kiddo?" He'd love to call everyone kiddo. And I'd say, "Well, I'm just trying to find something in these books." And he said, "I want you to put your hand on those books. Everything you need is already within you. You just have to access it." I will always remember that. Now, of course, I still read books, and I still read books, and I still do all sorts of things, but that was a key point for me. So in unity, raising consciousness, it is not a reward, it's a response. And today we explored 4 movements of building a foundation that spiritually deepens our journey. So let's say them together. Under, support, lift up, and raise. And next week, but before we get to next week, I hope you'll watch this again on YouTube, because we're really deepening these 3 weeks into this. And next week we move to construction within the building, where praise lifts your spirit, encouragement reshapes your inner voice, strength steadies your core, and empowerment begins to rise. And it's a powerful week in the architecture of spiritual deepening, and I really hope you will be here for it. So now let's anchor this message with a wonderful song I am sure you'll know, performed by Universal Interfaith Gospel Choir of Canada.
Before
Yes. Who feels that? Who feels Spirit's love lifting them higher and higher? Hopefully everyone, right? Am I on? I'm on. Okay. Spirit's love lifting us higher and higher. That's the idea. I am really super excited about this series. And I have to tell you a little secret. Last week I worked super hard and I got all 3 parts of the series done. That, if you know me, is kind of a miracle. So I know where we're going. And I'm excited by it. It lifted my spirit. Doing this series really and preparing it lifted my spirit higher and higher. So let us say together, I am a beloved child of God, here to be an ambassador of good. Yes, we are indeed. And let us say together, I am a joyful sharer of my good. I remember that as I give, I receive. And that God is my source. Yes, indeed. And so we are so grateful for all of your financial blessings. This is what supports Unity of Tempe. And we're so grateful during the summer. Maybe you've got vacation coming up and you're like, I'd still like to support my spiritual community. You can do that. You can do it through Zelle. You can do it through a monthly donation. We're just so grateful for all of the blessings, because that is what we need at this time on the planet, is to stay close to our spiritual family and grounded in the truth and the architecture of spiritual deepening and the foundation of all that we are spiritual beings having this very human experience, and we are here to be divine lights. We are beloved children of God here to be divine lights, and we're so grateful for this time. Spirit, thank you, and so it is. Amen. Thank you, Ruth and Josh. We're so grateful for you. And if you prefer to give on Zelle, here is the Zelle. I leave that up for a second. But we are so very grateful for you. And thank you so much for your finance. Let's say this together because we all want to say it. Thank you so much for your financial support of your spiritual community, Unity of Tempe. You know what? I think it is important for us to say that, and I think I'm going to change the your to our, right? So we'll, somebody will remind me, probably Deborah, which she's so wonderful at reminding me of things. So we're going to now, let's see. Oh. There we go. Our Zoom call Thursday mornings. We would love for you to join us. What happens on our Zoom call stays on our Zoom call. I share things on that call that I cannot and will not share from here. So it stays on there, and I'm grateful for that confidentiality of all of us. So thank you for that. And let us say together, the light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is. It is well with my soul, and I am grateful. Beloveds online, may you be lifted higher and higher this week. Blessings of love and peace from all of our hearts to all of your hearts out there.